Will we take care of the men and women who don't pay fancy lobbyists, who don't work for the Raytheon Corporation? Will they be taken care of? That's the question. Let's meet a few of them. Let me introduce you to Claire. Claire's parents grew up near Weldon Spring in my state, in Missouri. Weldon Spring is the site of a Manhattan Project uranium refining site. That site sat untouched from the Manhattan Project era until 2001, more than 50 after after it was contaminated. In 2020, Claire was diagnosed with lymphoma. She was 2 years old. Let me introduce you to Vida, Claire's cousin. Vida, her mom and dad, they all live together right near that same site where nuclear waste has been dumped, not adequately cleaned up or dealt with. She grew up there, and wouldn't you know it, just 6 weeks after her cousin Claire was diagnosed with lymphoma, Vida was diagnosed with leukemia. She was 4 years old when she was diagnosed. Why is this happening in St. Louis? I'll tell you why. St. Louis was a uranium processing site, like many other cities around the country. And St. Louis was proud to do its part in the Manhattan Project. You won't get any argument from me about that. You certainly won't get any argument from Missourians. But here's what is not acceptable. After the Manhattan Project was concluded, the federal government didn't clean up the waste. No, the federal government allowed nuclear waste to sit out in barrels right near a stream that runs along schools, that runs alongside suburbs, that cuts right through the heart of the city. The federal government dumped nuclear waste into a public landfill. Then it dumped the nuclear waste into a second landfill. Then it dumped it into an area in the downtown part of the city. And here we are all these decades later. How much of it has been cleaned up? None of it. None of it.
For those unaware, the Westlake landfill has the Superfund site. The Bridgeton landfill has an underground fire smoldering event occurring. They have found radioactivity outside of the Superfund site across this entire area. The fire has released radionuclides into the air and other chemicals. If you don't know about this, now you do.